How can I help you? Ah, a visitor. Word travels fast, it seems. As fast as time flies. Which makes sense, given that they're both a type of bird. No doubt. You came for the Argonian known as Two Tails. I am he. As you should be. It's not every day you get to meet the first hero of the Fourth Era and champion of Tamriel. With the Divine's blessing, I've been granted a great gift. A weapon to conquer an ancient evil that has awoken from centuries of slumber. That's why the bards sing my name, from mead halls to ship decks, in castles and colleges, and sometimes in your head. Our hero, claims over his heart. I tell you, the Dwarvenborn comes. Dragons, unthinkable. The dragons have been extinct for centuries. What is dead can never be revived. No, the ancient evil I speak of as dwarves returned from the land that time forgot to enslave mortals to work in their underground mines. Or more specifically, a dwarf, Mazanuk, the Guard Eater. He returns with his army of mechanical spiders and centurions to end the day itself. Your worst enemy and your best friend, as you are nothing but a dog to him. And like a good doggy, he's going to make you fetch dirt, then bring it to the surface while his army of centurions flog you with brass whips. Mazanuk aims to devour the gods, at least the ones that live underground, and in doing so, propel our world into chaos. But as it is written in the Histbark and inscribed in the assortment of spoons I keep in my pocket, all is not lost. For there is one that even the mad dwarf and his legion of machines fear. In their tongue, I am known as Thuamerdzin, Dwarvenborn. As Dwarvenborn, I possess what is known as the Machine Hand. Simply by placing my palms on a device, I can disable it permanently. I am now on a great quest to place my hands upon as many dwarven machinations as possible, so that I may render the God Eater's army inert. It doesn't matter if it's a broken spider or a fully operational centurion. One touch from my machine hand, and no smith can repair it. Oh, it may be your servant now, but when Mazanuk sounds the clarion call through his steam horn, all of Tamriel will be overrun by spider hordes. Spiders you repaired because you thought they would make nice pets. Everything in this tower, for one. Notice how still the chair and pieces of scrap metal are. The Dwemer Museum in Markath has also received my blessing. Not a single device in there is operational. Other than that, I tried entering a ruin northwest of here, but I accidentally disabled the door, permanently locking it. I solved this quandary by hiring mercs to open doors for me. Then we went northeast to Mazenkalift. Yet it seems most of the machines were already destroyed by some horker of a woman. Only a single centurion was left intact at the tail end of the cavernous ruin. Before it could rise, I ambushed it with my sacred palm. I laid it right on its thigh, but its dynamo core seemed to be protected by some sort of magical force field. Mazanok's work, no doubt. We had to disable the field first, immobilize it manually. I left the mercs to deal with such menial work. Once the mercs finished paralyzing it, I blessed it with my machine hand. What you saw was an illusion, some sort of metal ghost or lie. Each of those three explanations is far less ridiculous than the alternative. I was fishing near the coast of Nibben Bay in Cyrodiil when I saw a bearded mage standing by the bank. In his hand was the ugliest fishing staff I had ever seen, but when he raised it to the sky, a massive island rose right out of the water. On it were rocks chiseled into the shape of dwarven heads, only they weren't rocks, but cheese. Then, waving the staff around some more, he conjured three beggars to eat away at the cheese rocks, from its mustache down to its chin. Their efforts revealed a secret portal, a gateway to the Dwemer homeworld. Curious, I followed him into the bay. I swam, he walked. I trailed him to the edge of the shoreline, just as he was about to enter the portal. Then he stopped and turned in my direction. I was hiding behind some brush, but I could have sworn he winked at me. Turns out there was just something in his eye, specifically the arrow that I shot in his face for winking at me. It was my fishing bow. How else are you supposed to catch slaughterfish without a proper staff? I'm Dwarven born, aren't I? You're one of those pedantic types. Can't stand it if a lizard ain't drank no speechcraft potion before he opens his mouth. Well, you speech Thalmor can suck on the business end of my tail. Both the gold and purple dwarves anointed me dwarven pawn, so that's who I am. Not purple and gold. Purple and gold. Two separate factions. The gold dwarves are the rich ones, on account of all the gold they wear. The purple ones are the smart ones. They paint their gold purple, so no one will steal it. Both of them don't take kindly to men, except the purple ones are less unkind. Only thing they hate more is each other. They remind me of the Imperials and the Stormcloaks, hacking away at each other while the real threat grows strong. People blame Ulfric, call him power-hungry and arrogant. Looks to me like we got two Ulfrics in Skyrim. Only one of them calls himself Elisif. Same with the dwarves. One of their own, the God-Eater himself, was on the loose, and they were just too busy griping to care. Luckily, a chamberlain by the name of Haskell led me down a yellow road where I was granted an audience with a steam mammoth. The mammoth told of how it betrayed Mazanuk and how his former master sought the nature of the divines so that he could know how to eat them. Nonsense! They're dwarves. You can tell by their horns and feathers, which they shed as babies, just like tails. I had feathers once too. The tips were as blue as Nibbin Bay in the summer. That is, until the locals started calling me a featherbrain. Others said that it was an insult to feathers. The joke's on them. I plucked my feathers, cut them open, and they had no brains to speak of. It did, but not before having me undergo 3 tests in 3 nights to see if my machine hand was true. The first test was simple. Touch the chassis of a dwarven sphere and return it to its shell. That's when I first learned the nature of my power. Through my palm, I could channel into the matrix of gears and wires and shatter the soul crackers that powered them. The second test came with a twist. I was asked to repair an orrery so I could learn to touch devices without damaging the mechanism. I managed to suppress my power as I connected the cylinders, cogs, and cohers to their respective wheelers, which were powered by rodents. The third and final test was to don the armor of the Animunculi. For legend stated, only a true hero could claim it. The armor was encased in columns of gold and purple light. 2 dwarves stood guard before it, but opened the path to reveal my prize. When I put it on, a chant began to swell, one that would echo across the isles. For I was dwarven born. I can't say this is unexpected. Heroes are known to have their share of devotees. But I require no donation of arms or armor, mead, or gold. For all that I require require to stand against the armies before me is this magical armor and my machine hand. Goodbye. Tidings. As the Khajiit say, may your sand lead to road worms